I'm stood right now in our latest completed project in Aberdeen. As you can see, it's had quite a lot of work done to it. So I'm going to take you now, show you around it, and then I'm going to get into the mistake we made so that you can hopefully avoid making the same mistake. Now, in order to explain the mistake we made with this place, you're going to have to see how it looked before we did all this work. So there you go. As you can see, this place was an absolute tip, which usually is good. In this case, it was not so good. The reason being, it needed too much work. So especially for these smaller style buildings where there's not a whole lot of money in it, there might be a lot of margin in it, but money and margin are two very separate things. And it costs the same to buy a boiler as it would to buy it in £1 million flat as it would a £40,000 flat. So you really need to be careful when you're dealing with these cheaper flats that you don't fall into that mistake. We had to put in gas central heating. Yes, of course, that will put the value up. It was a humongous cost on a 1-bed flat at this price. Really is not something you want to be doing. That was one of the mistakes we made, was buying it when it needed too much work. The biggest mistake in this place by a mile that we made was that we bought this on numbers and we didn't really just look at the obvious issues with the layout of the building. This living room is humongous. It's great to have a living room this size. Of course, it's going to be brilliant. The problem is, when you look at it on paper, you think, oh, 51 square meters, that's fantastic. Unfortunately though, a lot of that was made up by the living room. If you come through here into the bedroom, this bedroom is minuscule. We cannot really get a double bed in here. That's really restricting your market. Ideally, if that living room was a bit smaller and the bedroom was a bit bigger, that would be great. That is a giant brick wall. There's no way it's getting moved. So we're gonna have to live with this. The layout doesn't get any better when you come into the bathroom. Coming in, it might look all good. Issue here though is that it's such a long bathroom, and really I think we've done the best we can with this space, but you can see here we had to build this wall out. It's a very bizarre layout, this. I think we actually did the best thing we could here. I think that was the best protocol. It's just not perfect. And another thing that we missed, and this is huge, is wall prep. It is the thing that makes up the majority of our costs on a project. So that's going to be stripping your walls, getting them boarded if you need plastering and painting. Now if you look behind us, you'll see a beautiful flat wall. Isn't that lovely? That's what it used to look like. That is what that wall used to look like, and that is what the rest of the living room used to look like. Very expensive to fix. All the waste we had to drag out of here. And again, this is something that would just not have been priced in when we bought the building. I can't say to someone, by the way, your walls are likely to fall in, we're gonna need skips and board it and it's gonna cost thousands of pounds. They're not even gonna know what you're on about, so you're not gonna get the discount there. Better to just try and avoid buying buildings that need that altogether, unless you are getting a serious discount. Now I am mumping and moaning an awful lot, but there are a few good things about this flat. So the location is pretty decent. The project actually turned out quite well, so the spec of the building is quite good. There are some quite nice period features in here as well. We've got the high ceilings, there's cornice. The communal is actually pretty good, so it's not all bad, but certainly just a few things that we want to watch for and not make those mistakes again. It's just costing yourself time. Why would you do that unnecessarily? You wouldn't. Don't make that mistake. Don't buy something that needs too much work being done to it. Try and buy the buildings that are already in pretty good nick and just need polish to get them really, really nice. And that actually brings me on to something else that's a bit of a misconception. People seem to think that you need to buy a building that needs a lot of work doing to it in order to add value, and that's not true. Some of the best deals we've had with AJM have been deals that we've purchased and then 6 months later they've been revalued at £20,000 to £30,000 more than we paid for them because we got them at such good discounts. If you're buying the building at a good enough discount and it's in decent shape, that's fine. You want to buy something that you know you could sell on day one and make more money. If you're buying a property that you couldn't dispose of and make all your money back or more on day one, then really you overpaid for it. You don't want that scenario. It will also seriously limit your risk having that integrated into your purchasing strategy. So as always, if you want any more info on projects like this, probably not like this one, on some of the other ones we're doing which are better, just reach out. I'm happy to help. Till the next one, goodbye.